your favorite girlfriend, Diva in Demand, and I am back with another update on the game of life and how to play it by Florence Scoville Shin. I've talked about it before. You should check out my previous videos. So, this week, oh, wait, let me back up. And this is all interrelated, trust me. If you ever listen to the Steve Harvey morning show, his radio program, he starts off every show by saying, Steve Harvey has a radio show. And if you've never listened to it, that whole concept, that statement is insignificant to you. But at that point, what he does is he goes on to say how his faith and his belief and basically how just holding on to his dream, how far it has carried him. His faith in God, his willingness to live the life that God has planned for him has carried him to a point of success that he could have never imagined on his own. He has a radio show. He has a book on New York Times bestseller list for the second time. Same book, second time. And a movie about to come out based on the book. Now, whether you agree or disagree with the context of the book or who it was written by, I cannot help but applaud his success and sit back and say, wow. Because of what he says, and that's what he truly believes, that living the life he has led and having the faith he has had has brought him the success that is so immeasurable than what he set out for. He set out to make a successful living as comedy. And as he says, Steve Harvey has a radio show, y'all. That's something, right? So the game of life, this week we are on a chapter titled Casting the Burden. Okay? The first paragraph. I mean, she has a way of that initial paragraph of each chapter, it just gets you. She's talking to you. First paragraph. When a man knows his own powers and the workings of his mind, his great desire is to find an easy and quick way to impress the subconscious with good. For simply an intellectual knowledge of the truth will not bring results. All I said, faith without works is dead. For anybody who needs a biblical reference. So, what have I learned in this chapter? Actually, it didn't feel like a new matter. It felt more like reaffirmation of previous chapters about the speaking, the power of what is spoken, the power of the tongue in life, and believing in positive and living positive. And so what it's about is those same doubts, because the more positive of a life you lead, the more as if actions you perform in your life, in your world, of acting as if you have that life you're aiming for, that dream you're trying to attain, the dream you believe you will attain, the more negativity may occur. One of the young ladies said it's like, she likened it to a glass of water. Sitting still, it looks completely clear. But when stirred, you see all the sediments rise. This chapter is about reaching in and scooping out the sediments and getting rid of them. Because that's what happens. You're living your positive life, you're feeling good, you're having great moments, and it's easy for that negative to pop up and rear its head and back you back down. And so when that happens, that's what this chapter is about, getting rid of that burden, getting rid of that doubt, having these affirmations to remain positive. And it's not instantaneous. It's not something that will happen overnight. As a matter of fact, one of the specific affirmation of this chapter is, I don't really have to read it because I know it. I cast this burden to the Christ within and set myself free. But the important part is the author says to repeat it number of times, out loud in your head, day, night, whenever, because it's not something that will instantly click for you. It is something that you will have to retrain your mind to think. Okay? So my real life example is I've been working on this little nook corner in my bedroom where I spend my time meditating and thinking and bringing peace to my thoughts and my mind, trying to get my mind to slow down a little bit. And I went out today and I bought a bowl because I wanted to put some water in it for a reflective moment. Walked in the house, got a bowl, and I wasn't super duper impressed with it. I guess it really wasn't what I set out to get, but it would do the job. Walk in the house, drop the bowl. As soon as I walk in the house, it shattered. Okay, so I could have been like, oh, blank. I need to find substitutes for cuss words because I really is just natural want to cut. But I could have just let loose, string of obscenities and the universe is against me and blah 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 blah. Instead, I decided, must not have been the bowl for me. I went back out. I found, I don't want to call it a perfect bowl. It's not a perfect bowl, but it is so much cooler of a bowl than the one I first had, and I'm happy with it. So I'll actually post I think if I can fit it in, a picture of my little nook so you can see what I've got going on up there. Walking around the house today, burning my sage. Yes, that awkward moment when somebody comes to the door and thinks you're getting high. Picture. Only people who get high know what getting high smell like. I know that's not true, but that's the story I'm going with right now, okay? I'm just saying. So I have my sage and my candles and my lavender and my journal, and I feel good. I had the perfect Saturday. And even when little niggling doubt tried to kind of get at me, I repeated it. I cast this burden and I set myself free. I don't have to doubt. I don't have to worry. I don't have to sit up and say, oh my gosh, I spent this amount of money. I spent what was in my budget. Period. I paid my bills. I spent what was in my budget. And I am no longer going to let those triggers control my positivity in life. Okay? Because once you can get them, I think, if I'm feeling it right, once you can get a hold of the positivity of your life, you can have more of it. You get what I'm saying? And so that's something that I felt good about today. So far today, nothing has drugged me down. I can identify, oh, that was another part of the book. Let me go. And you want to talk about the universe working with you. This was not a chapter I set out or volunteered to present. I volunteered to present the one prior to it and afterwards on love. But Sojourner Lazy behind didn't, so I did. And it just this chapter, you know how you say the chapter speaks to me or the book spoke to me. This when I not spoke to me. This chapter actually told my story. Okay, so if you know me and you read this chapter, when you get to the example at the end of the chapter, you'll say, "Damn, oh sorry, that is Diva's story." Yeah, it told my story. Now, what was I talking about? It was something specific. Oh, the little things. There are two things I should bring up. I have 8 minutes. I've done 8 minutes. Okay. In steadily repeating the affirmations, I cast this burden on the Christ within and go free. The vision clears, and with it a feeling of relief, and sooner or later comes the manifestation of good, be it health, happiness, or supply. Okay, there's also a concept in here, the darkness before dawn, that is referred to in the preceding chapter. And often, she says, often before the big demonstration, everything seems to go wrong and deep depression clouds the consciousness. It means that out of the subconscious are rising the doubts and fears of the ages. Isn't that what I just said? The water with the sediment that this girl told me about? These are old derelicts of the subconscious rise to the surface to be put out, casting the burden, not bringing along the doubts about the money or the relationship or the housing situation or whatever. Starting with a really clean glass of water doesn't have any sediment in it. But that's not the part I wanted to truly. Where is it? And don't talk about me should have having the pages marked before I got here. It's only been 9 minutes and 37 seconds. You could stand and wait a little bit. Blah, blah. Oh, here it is right here. La, la, la. See? Okay. It also tells us not to despise the day of small things. Invariably, before a demonstration comes, signs of land. Signs of land. So, for example, before Columbus reached America, he saw twigs and birds. So, what happens is we see these twigs and birds. We have been speaking into existence and into life our own island, our own discovery of land. And we see twigs and birds. And we become discouraged because we think, wow, I wanted an island and all I got was these damn twigs and birds. That's a sign that the island is up ahead. Think about that. Meditate on that a little bit. There's an example in the book of a woman who had prayed for a set of dishes, and she got one little old funky plate. And she said, well, I asked for dishes, and this is what I got. And she was happy with her one little funky plate. And the next thing you know, she got a whole set of grand china. Do not be disturbed by the small signs of land. That means the island is up ahead. Okay. So there have been things, little things that happened all day, and not what I would want, not what I would want to the full extent of what I would want. You know what I'm saying? Like having a conversation with somebody that I would have wanted to be more. But I'm not going to say, oh, well, we still talk about blah, blah, blah. What I say is, hey, I talked to so-and-so today, and that made my day. Because the alternative is I didn't have to talk to them at all. I am celebrating the small signs of land. Okay? I rushed because my last video was so long. And I have a habit of talking fast anyway. I had to make myself slow down. The book is the game of life and how to play it. The chapter is casting the burden. I am your favorite girlfriend, Diva in Demand. And I will be back with who knows what on who knows who. In the meantime, deuces.